Hello everyone, I Assistant Professor Pragati Shetty from Department of Microbiology, KJ Somaiya College. In this online lecture, we will study about the fungal pathogens. Okay, so as we know that infections agent or the causative agents can be the bacteria, viruses, prions, right? Fungus, protozoa. So in this lecture we will study the fungus category. So there are many types of the fungi that are available which can be infectious for the humans. All right, then that include candida, aspergillus, cryptococcus species, etc. We will study in this lecture first the candida infections, which means the candida species. Okay, so now we will first start with its classification of the family and the genus. So it will come under the family called as the Saccharomycetaceae. Okay, Saccharomycetaceae. Then phylum, it is under the Ascomycota. Ascomycota phylum. Then there are approximately more than 200 species are available or are present of this candida. Okay, and each one species is very specific for its disease interaction with the human infection site. All right, now the about 20 species from that 200 species are associated with the pathology in the humans and the animal, which means there are pathogenic as well as the non-pathogenic species are present, right? So from the 200 species, the 20 species among that will be responsible for causing infections in the humans as well as in the animal. See, many of them species are most of the times available as our normal flora. Okay, for example, in the gastrointestinal tract, in the respiratory tract, at the various sites in our body. So depending on certain conditions or certain changes, or our immunity will get decreased, so at that type of the conditions, this pathogen, this species, fungal species, will cause the infection. They will turn that conditions into pathogenic conditions, right? Then if we look into the candida, it will replicate or it will multiply by the asexual mode of replication. Therefore it is called as the anamorph. Okay, anamorph means what? Asexual species. Then telomorphs of several genera demonstrated for different species of the candida. Now the telomorph of the candida. So this telomorph are in sexual reproductive stage. Okay, they are typically a fruiting body shaped. So when an normal fungi will multiple or will produces the multiple morphologically distinct stages, with that stages we will have this anamorph and the telomorphs. Okay, when they divide at that stages, these are the stages when they divide, when they multiply. Okay, so including the anamorph and the telomorph. Telomorph is a fruiting body, whereas anamorph is an asexual reproductive stage, which is a mold like structure. Okay, so then when the candida will produce the telomorph, in that stages it will have several various kind of the genus. So that will include the candida clavispora, then the candida diaboromyces, then candida piscia, candida yerovia. So like that, these are some of the examples of the candida telomorphs. Okay, so now we will study about the structure and the morphology of the candida albicans. Now amongst this candida, the candida albicans is the most recurring and the most prevalent infection in the humans. Okay, this is the most common infection. The candida albicans species is present in our body as our normal flora, but when the conditions when conditions will change, outer or the inner conditions, such as a person if is becoming an immunocompromised person, then this pathogen, this species, this fungi will turn pathogenic and cause the infection. Or the other way, it can also transmit. Like every disease, this infection can easily transmit and can easily spread. Therefore the rate of their infection is very high. Okay, so now in this picture, left hand side picture, you can see there is a staining of the candida albicans. Okay, so it is a polymorphic yeast, that is yeast cells, hyphae, and these pseudohyphae are produced. These are the structures of the yeast, which means it is a type of yeast which can produce the different structure or different morphologically different yeast or different morphological structures. So that is the hyphae and the pseudohyphae. Then it has the ability to assume various forms that may be related to the pathogenicity, which means a various form of the yeast or of the candida is responsible for causing the particular pathogenicity of an infection. Then yeast form is of 10 to 12 microns in diameter. It is a gram positive. Then it can grows overnight on the most bacterial and the fungi media, such as the Sabouraud agar, right? We know that we use this media for basically the growth of fungus. Then pseudohyphae that may be formed from the budding yeast that remain attached to each other. You can see in this picture, you can see the pseudohyphae here. Okay, and then spores can also be formed on the pseudomycelium. We know the mycelia are responsible for transferring the pores or transferring the particles into the atmosphere, right? So that pseudomycelium called as the chlamydospores, right? Because it will contain the spores and can be used to identify the different species of candida. So this is about the candida albicans. Okay, then we will see the epidemiology of the candida albicans species. Yes, before that, the candida albicans which are present in the GI tract will include the candida albicans, then candida tropicalis, candida glabrata, and candida parapsilosis. Okay, this species or the candida albicans are found on many plants, okay, on the normal flora of the gastrointestinal tract of the mammals and the humans. Then among the species of the candida, as I mentioned, the candidas are, when the candida is turning pathogenic, then it will cause a very drastic harmful infection, which is a very very painful disease infection. Okay, candidiasis, it will cause the candidiasis. Okay, then the pathogenic species among the candidas are the candida albicans. Then on second number is the candida glabrata. Okay, then also the candida krusei, candida tropicalis. These are some of the pathogenic species of the candida. Okay, and in the candida also we have distributed two separate groups, that is the candida albicans species and the non-albicans. This means albican infection and the non-albicans. Then albicans will include the infection caused by only Candida albicans, and the non-albicans will be including the other species that we have just mentioned, like the Candida piscia, then Candida glabrata, Candida krusei. Okay, such that this species will include the including the non-albicans Candida species. Okay, every species, all of the species are pathogenic. Okay, just we have separated two groups depending upon the genus. One is the albicans and another is the non-albicans. All right, so now if we look into the epidemiology of this infection, over 75% of the women suffer from the Candida albicans infection. And in this also, the most common sites are in the vulvovaginal candidiasis. Okay, so we can say that as compared to the men, the woman will get more number of the infection. The prevalence rate of this infection is very high in the humans, almost about 75%. Okay, and about that, among that, the 40 to 50% of that woman will have the additional occurrences of this albicans infection. Right, then interestingly, Candida albicans are fourth leading cause for nosocomial infection in the patient's bloodstream, which means the infection that spreads through the hospitals. Okay, we called it as the nosocomial infection, which means via the contaminated syringes, via the contaminated equipments, apparatus. Okay, so by that way, if the infection has been caused, then that can be called as the nosocomial infection. And in that, the Candida albicans is the fourth leading causative agent of this nosocomial infection. Therefore, that can be extremely life-threatening infection, right? With a mortality rate of 30%, which is the very, very higher range, 30% mortality rate. Okay, then some of the Candida species are commensals and colonize in the skin and the mucosal surfaces of the humans. So as we discussed in the earlier slide, that this is present in our normal flora. So it can act as the commensal, which means it will turn pathogenic at the certain conditions. See, the organisms which are already present in our body or at the normal flora of our body, and due to some outer or the inner conditional changes, it will turn into the pathogenic organism. So that organisms are called as the commensal organism or commensals. So Candida albicans will come into such categories. All right, then which groups will be at the most increased risk for getting this infection? So first, babies with a nappy rash. Okay, see, wherever there is a very moisture or sticky surfaces, so at that surfaces there are higher chances for getting this Candida infections. Okay, then people with a metabolic disorder, including diabetics. Why diabetics? Because in the metabolic disorders or in such conditions, immunity of a person will be reduced down as compared to the healthy person. So at that conditions, this Candida can turn pathogenic and therefore can cause the infections. Alright, then overweight people. Okay, in that also same immunity issue will be there. Overweight people, then pregnant woman and the woman would take high dose contraceptive pills. Okay, in that also it is very risky for getting this infection. Then people who work in the wet conditions, right? So as I mentioned, this infection is very dominant in the conditions which are very wet conditions or very moisture sticky surfaces are there. At that conditions or at those spots, this species will bind and will cause infections. Okay, then people who are HIV positive or suffering from another type of the immunodeficiency, then those people are very much susceptible to get this infection. Okay, so this is the epidemiology of the Candida albicans. Also, the people who are at the antibiotic treatment or who take the broad spectrum antibiotics,